Hi, Brittany. All right, I'm going to do your soul rebirth journey now. So we have a variety that we're going to explore here. We're going to explore challenges you're having with anxiety, lack of self-worth, lack of self-love, mostly emotional overeating and then starving, and then body shame. And then you also say you have some challenges with physical pain in your back. And then you have this issue with blockages in your lymph nodes, and that's caused you quite a lot of challenge. And then opening your third eye is another thing you like to focus on. Okay, I'm just going to relax and then we'll get started, okay? Okay, instantly there's green bubblies on both sides of a walkway that goes upwards like this. And it's sort of a, I don't know what color green. It's kind of neon, but not neon. Different version, different colors of green, but it's not like green grass. It's a little bit different color green. I'm looking at the pathway before me and it stops here and then it goes straight upward. So I'm sort of looking at a sidewalk that goes up like that. Even has the lines in it too. It's not like a cement sidewalk. It's more like made out of wooden planks. I'm just looking at it. I'm also taking my finger and strumming it across. There's sort of, it's like wooden planks. Everything's made of green. So these wooden planks, and I'm just, every line in between each one, I'm sort of touching them all the way down. I am trying to determine where am I to go with my life here. I also look at it as though there's a fogginess. I could take my hand and wipe away the color and then see through to the other side. Almost like a mirror that got covered in too much, you take a hot shower and now your mirror's covered with all of this sort of mist. So you just wipe it off with your hand. I'm now doing that with this scene. I'm wiping all of this green away, and then I'm looking at myself in the mirror. They're showing me there's some sort of contact lens that I'm putting into my eyes. There's something of my emotional state right now. In this experience, I am taking the time to look at myself in the mirror and putting the contact lenses in my eyes, but there's something about this. I want to see myself better, but also there's something in the way of putting on a lens over my eyes so I'm not seeing with my own eyes. I'm using a tool in order to see more clearly. But I'm patient. I just can't ever seem to get the lens on my eye right. It's like I'm frozen in a moment and I just want the lens to get onto my eye, but it's always just sort of, I never let go. I never let the lens just lay down on my eye. And now I'm even more stuck than ever before and just sort of this looking, I'm just sort of, eyes sort of looking up, trying to get a lens on there. Totally stuck right now. I feel frozen. I feel like I'm turning into a piece of wood. Can't move at all. I'm just going to stop trying to put a contact lens in my eye. It's not meant for me. There's some sort of tall tree-like man here in this bathroom. I hand him this contact lens. He seems to be thinning out and going away. Less and less of him is there. You seem to know it's okay to let go or to say goodbye. I'm just watching him sort of become thinner and more part of the evaporation or the air, and you smiling, and you're turning around and ready to go out the door. But you're not letting go just yet. You still feel stuck in between these moments here. You can't leave the bathroom. You're starting to get stuck again to the point that even this tree man isn't able to completely let go. It just, everything creates a density, and you're sort of suspended in the density of trying to make movements forward, but then getting stuck. Stuck in thought processes of choices. I'm getting frustrated. There's an experience of the mind where I'm thinking about things. I'm thinking about choices. I'm thinking about actions. I'm thinking about making decisions, but I'm sort of stuck. Can't decide. In one moment, everything seemed to be correct. It's okay to let go of trying to put this contact lens in, give it to this tree man, and then it's like a really good positive moment where you're ready to move on to something new. But then suddenly in the process of moving on to something new, you can't do it. You're sort of thinking about everything. But even the thoughts aren't quite flowing right. Basically, you're stuck between plates of glass, some sort of invisible density. I'm exploring evaporating it, but they're wanting me to see something different. It's you in a dark space, sort of an underground cave type space, and you are in a state of peacefulness. There is a smokiness around you, and you're going into a state of your mind where you feel in a sort of a harmony or a balance. It's also got a really terrible muddy effect to it. It also has sort of like, how are you going to water the plants if your hose is full of mud? Like, you got to have the mud out of the hose in order for the water to flow through correctly. So you have this sort of state of mind in a smoky cloud that's sort of an alternate state of mind, and you're just jamming up your receptors. You're just jamming up your true sense of the infinite and your connection with the infinite. And all I can experience is you flooding all of your receptors with mud. And it's coating and caked in there, and it's not allowing you to actually experience life as truly who and what you are. Who are you? Are you you when you're sitting in a smoky cloud, or are you you when you are choosing to be your biological reflection without anything else included? There's so much mud, and the sensation of jammed up. It feels so jammed up and full of mud. And it's really horrible around the mind region. I can't unhook or unhinge it's like hoses of mud are being pushed into my body. So I'm just being patient, and I'm exploring this some more. Say that only time will allow those muds. It's basically hoses with mud flowing through them into your brain. Only time will allow those hoses to disconnect. Once the fog goes away, once the smokiness goes away, then those hoses go away as well. But now you actually have to face reality as who and what you truly are. Are you capable of facing reality as yourself? You are capable of this. But it's quite horrible because that muddiness is actually, it has sort of a familiarity to it, and it feels safe and it feels comfortable. And when the muddiness goes into my brain, it actually gives me that sort of relaxed and peacefulness sort of sensation, and it's horrible and also good at the same time. So when it's not there, now I'm just sort of like, oh my gosh, I'm too clean, there's too much air, there's too much purity, and there's just too much clarity. And if you're not used to clarity, then it just feels like a longing to sort of have that cushion, you know? So this is, I'm supposed to talk about this because you're actually exploring letting go of a cannabis usage, and you're doing a good job of it, but you're sort of coming across challenges. And this scene, these two scenes are all about that. These two scenes are all about the challenges of letting go usage of cannabis, because what it does is it's really, while it provides you with that state of balance and the peace of mind, sort of a harmonies type of feeling, it is actually jamming up your sensation of the infinite. If you're using cannabis in order to experience the infinite, you're actually not experiencing the infinite. You're experiencing cannabis letting go of your connection with the ego suppressing, and now the cannabis is the tool to help you experience the infinite, which isn't, you should just use your biology to experience the infinite. So when you take cannabis away, now the ego comes back, now the real you comes back, and now you have to figure out how to deal with the real you in order to experience the infinite without the use of anything else. So, and the body's talking to me about this, about what its balance is and what it's used to and what it feels like with this. That this part of you in the bathroom, it's sort of like putting the contact lens in. The sensation of that is putting on a pair of glasses so that you can see. You don't actually need the glasses to see, though. So it's just sort of, you're putting in a lens that you don't actually need. It has something to do with a cannabis connection, and that's what it feels like. But maybe maybe you'll translate this differently. But putting that contact lens in, you're sort of on the cusp of putting it in again, but then you never quite go there. And finally it's like, all right, here, I'm going to give it to you. And now that part of your needs is starting to disintegrate. You're ready to move on, but yet you're getting stuck here. Before getting to the doorway and out the door, you're getting stuck. And now you're sort of like, I want to go back, but I can't go back. Don't want to go back. Don't really want to see that tree guy. I can't. And the brain's just sort of like scrambled, and I can't move now. So. I can't force things to change. I'm sort of pushing energy into you in this sort of scene in the cave. And I'm trying to push out a lot of the energy associated with that, and it's just not allowed. I just have to be patient. So I'm also in a standstill, exploring my own journey with you, which is some part of the wisdom. You too must go into sort of standstills where you're exploring your own journey and decision making and reasons for why and how you feel about this, that, and the other thing. And thinking too much too can make you stall out. It can get you stuck. So don't overthink things. Just allow yourself to enter into the tide and flow with the tide, okay? One important message Spirit wants me to say. You make a decision, okay? Your decision is, I'm ready to let go of this. So if you're going to make that decision, then you need to follow through with it, because you're feeling that way for a reason. When you follow through with it, now you're living in the now. How many of us say, I'm going to start exercising today, and then we don't follow through with it? Why are we not following through with the needs of our body, with the needs of our emotions, with the needs of our heart? How come we're saying stuff and not actually doing it? So you're saying, I'm ready to let go of this, and you're actually doing it, but there's some moments where it might be a bit of a struggle, or It's really thinking about it, the body going through changes that may influence you to kind of stumble back in that direction, which is you learning how to let go of it, right? So, but they're saying you made the decision and you made it for a reason, and you have to trust your body and your heart and your mind and your soul, and everything is asking you to do this for a reason. So, follow through with it and don't give up on it. Trust in this. Don't get stuck thinking too much. Just continue to go down that pathway. There's just so many jammy receptor experiences where I'm ready to make progress, but the moment I enter into the vibration of progress with you, I just feel like I'm like, I'm not sure. I just don't know. I can't think anymore. I just, I'm trying to figure this out. This is sort of a weird kind of jammy receptor experience. And it's always associated with the head. It's almost like I put a weird brain cap on. And it's not working right. It's like I'm banging on the old TV to get the screen to come back on. It's not working. I'm sort of maneuvering the wires. How come I can't get a reception? Guess I got to call the TV repairman. It's sort of like that's kind of what this odd sort of device is. It's just like the old TV isn't working. I don't know what it is, but that's the way it feels. I'm just trying. I'm using a very archaic manner in order to correct the brain cap when the whole thing just needs to go in the first place. It's hard to let go of it. It's really hard to let go of it. It's overwhelming. The more I let go of it, the more I feel the anxiety building and a very uncomfortable sensation starting to fill me. I just don't trust. I don't know what's going to happen next, but it can't be good. Nothing about anything could be good right now. Surely something bad is going to happen. They're saying there's nothing to be afraid of. When you look in the mirror and you see yourself looking back, what is actually looking back at you? A lot of us don't have a clue what all is in our infinite soul reflection looking back at us. And part of the life journey is to explore parts of our infinite reflection. And sometimes they can be intimidating too and inspire us to feel anxieties, because we're being tested to explore our identity and how we feel about the world we live in. How do we feel about ourselves in this world? It goes beyond just this now moment, but there's been many now moments in your soul journey that are blending in. So past now moments into this present now moment. It was just a really brief, momentary, sort of uncomfortable moment, but it's starting to go away quite quickly, and I just want a hug is all. And it's not I need a hug because I was scared. It's more I just love the way that hugs feel. It's the way it feels like. I just feel like I need a hug right now. That's all. There's just so much stored up in the mind region, and I'm still going through that. It's like a super library of all kinds of different just things going on in there. It's interesting too because I'm trying to experience patience, and there's this sort of weird version of being in a hurry for no reason. It's just let's get this figured out. Let's go. Let's do this. But also the jammy receptor where it's like, but I don't know. But I don't know. I've got 10,000 books here and I can't figure out. I don't know. I'm just constantly in this odd way of like, okay, can I just please go forward with you? But I keep hitting these odd sort of in your spiritual atmosphere, I hit these weird invisible brick walls where I'm just like, where'd you come from? I'm trying to make progress here. Jammy receptor again. But I don't know. Yes, you do know. You really, really do, I swear. You have to start choosing to allow yourself to say, I have chosen and I do know. And I'm going to continue to go with what I know. Jammy receptor is going to say, you're going to ask you questions constantly and make you wonder and make you second guess yourself and make you feel like you got to stall out and make you, come up with all these reasons to slow down your progress. You create kind of a habit in life, and the ego then gets used to that habit. So when you alter the habit, now the ego is going to be your worst nightmare at trying to just release from it, because the ego is now, the jammy receptor that is trying to get you back to the habit or what was the normal routine. It's going to be tricky. Again, it's just as hard as, starting an exercise regimen when you've been sort of sitting on the couch for 10 years or something. The ego gets adjusted to a certain lifestyle, and then when change happens, ego freaks out, so it's hard. It makes it hard. I'm just doing some exercises with this part of your reflection. I'm having these challenges for a reason. So I'm having this part of your reflection. It just looks like an invisible wall that I keep running into. It also looks like a weird brain cap that has all these contraptions and devices that are going zzz, zzz, and I'm wanting to just, get the TV working again and move the wires around so I can get the right reception, but it never quite works right. And all it does is just, it's just a pain in the rear. And so these jammy sort of reflections, I'm helping them to become a reflection of just a face and a body and with a consciousness. So I'm blending them all together. This weird sort of, I'm in the bathroom trying to leave, I'm stuck and I'm trapped in between all these sort of walls of glass and I can't move my body at all, and now I'm just turning into a solid piece of wood. That energy, I am blending it in here, and now all these energy blends of jammy receptor, now I'm giving it a face and identity, and now I am helping it to experience Goose Fraba and be in the Om position and inhale lots of oxygen, because oxygen is way more beneficial for the body than smoking or, anything like that. It just breathe in the good air, exhale the old. I'm helping this part of you to fill with oxygen, fill with air, fill with clarity, fill with peacefulness, fill with confidence, fill with the feeling that don't feel rushed and don't feel like you're going too slow at the same time. That doesn't help us get anything done in a day. I gotta go, but I just need to think about, all the things that I need to get done in a day, and now a day's gone and I haven't done anything at all. I've been so busy, but I haven't done anything at all, but how come I feel like I'm moving so fast and I just can't get anything done? There's something weird about the time perceptions going on here with this as well. So I'm just pulling it all into a body, an energy body, and then I'm giving it an identity, and I'm helping it to find peacefulness, okay? I'm helping this reflection to disconnect from your mental body. It's really associated with mental body over emotional body or physical body over anything. It has an odd connection with mental body specifically. Also, sexual body. Sexual body really needs to be explored with you. But we're focusing on mental body right now. Specifically that. It is sticky, an unbelievably sticky goo ball thing. It's like gum that got stuck in a place, and now it's like I can't get this gum off of there. And now I don't even know what to do, because I am still trying to get this gum off of something I really like, and I can't get, it's like gum in the hair. I can't get the gum out. So this sort of thing that I'm doing is pulling a gumminess off of every sort of place where I've seen you in this sort of stuck way. And it's sort of like kind of, I don't know, it's like it got stuck on your cheek and it's just sort of coming off. I don't know, it's peeling off of you. It was suctioned all over your entire body and it's just sort of peeling off of you. I don't, it's crazy. It's got a real sticky goo ball nature to it. It does have a suction cup sort of sound too when it unsuctions. It has quite a, oh my God, it's like a freaking relief. That's the way. It's like, oh my God, what a relief. Giving the jammy receptor a consciousness and allowing it to inhale oxygen, lots and lots of oxygen, allowing it to have peace of mind, allowing it to be disconnected from your mental body and just be as it is. Give it a sort of identity of its own kind and just give it oxygen, give it peacefulness, give it infinite time, a space where there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. And it's starting to feel so much freer and more peaceful, and you are starting to experience the disconnect from the weird head cap, from the weird invisible glass wall you keep running into, from that weird I'm stuck feeling, the weird I'm trying to think here but I can't get the thoughts all the way through. It's like a sort of plugged up garden hose kind of experience. It even has an odd way of the experience of you have really hard, like kind of solid ice cream that you're trying really hard to suck through a straw, and that it also has an odd, as it's coming out of you or off of you, it has an odd like it's like sucking something really thick through a straw. And it even has a weird sound to it as well. Like there's weird air bubbles that get in there too. But this is effective. This is making an effective, massive, enormous difference. It's like, okay, here I am, put the cement on my body, and now I'm going to expect myself to be able to move and think and act like a normal human being. But I can't move anything because my brain is cemented, my body is cemented, my emotions are cemented, something like that. And now we're just getting the crazy cement off of you. It's all the mental body, specifically focusing, they keep emphasizing mental body. Mental body over physical body and everything else. An emotional body. But there is a sexual body experience associated with this purification, but it's not as loud as the mental body is like, please help me the most right now. I'm still having that part. I mean, it's basically a person. It's just the outline of a body in the sort of meditated yoga state. Lots of oxygen. Lots of oxygen to the brain. Lots of oxygen in the blood. Get the oxygen in. Let's breathe the real air. Let's breathe the real energy that helps us thrive and helps us think clearly and helps us feel alive and helps us feel better about ourselves and the way, in a life and everything. Oxygen is the happy faces for the brain. Oxygen is. Nothing else is, but oxygen is the happy faces for the brain. So this part of you is still doing a lot of oxygen breathing, and then in the sort of meditative state and a relaxed state and feeling infinite time. I'm still in this way with you, okay? And I'm seeing the scene with you sort of stuck walking away from the out of a bathroom, and you're starting to feel unhinged more and more, like you were in an invisible ice cube or something. So you're starting to be able to kind of move your body more as this is still unsticking from you. I'm telling you, it's about the craziest stick glue I've ever experienced. And there's a peeling thing happening, like you're the inside of the banana. We don't eat the peel. We just want the yummy banana inside. So we're just taking the banana peel off of you so we can see you. The best part of a banana is you. There's a huge energy burp blasting out of your brain in this bathroom scene. It's okay. Let that thing rumble out. It's got a scary sort of rumbly, but there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of at all. It's just part of you releasing a connection, right? That is, it's sort of the jammy receptor thing. It's good. Just let it out of there. And that thing is gonna go away like a puff of smoke. Just evaporates on its own. It sort of has a scary, gloomy, like a scary face and a cloud kind of thing, and then it comes with a lightning bolt, and it was just like bam, like this, but it's just instantly being barfed and burped out of your head and brain region. Get that out of there. It's okay to let that go because that is no friend of yours. It's not a negative entity or demon or anything. It's just an energy garbage that feels like a safety helmet. Like if I'm gonna ride my bike down the Rocky Mountain, I want to have my helmet on. But the perception of the Rocky Mountain isn't correct. You're walking on flat land and there's no bumpy roads here and you're not on a bicycle and you're not going to fall and get hurt. You don't need the safety helmet. Just be yourself and experience the balance of the sun and the moon, the day and the night, the good, the good and the good. Life is only good. That was a part of this that energy feeling, like the safety helmet feeling. I mean, they're really helping you to get an edge here so you can feel good just being you without any additives. It's really good that we're exploring this because for one, you're ready for this. You're super ready for this. And two, clearing your energy field out of that cannabis, cementing the gift of the cannabis cement, you're going to start having a sensation of being able to actually experience the real sunlight. What does sunlight actually feel like? Well, now I know because I'm me. And now I can start actually experiencing my real emotions and real thoughts and real feelings, not cannabis helper thoughts and feelings and grounding and balance, because it's not you. It's not your real biology. It influences you to feel a peacefulness and a connection, but it's also sort of jamming up your ability to actually just get to go on the adventure of discovering yourself. It's really valuable to be you without anything else. I'm going to put this on pause for just a moment. I'm going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to connect with your head and help you to continue to release every energetic, cement styled, jammy receptor energy block I come across with you. It's awesome because we're making super progress here. I'm still have that sort of part of you inhaling oxygen. That's just going to keep going on because that's starting to create a refresh. It's sort of like, ew, stinky toilet, put in the, air freshener. Oh, smells great in here now. There's something about we're dissipating I don't know, the really horrible sort of energy cement by refreshing it with oxygen. And so now the cement just sort of twinkles and, it's going bye-bye now. And all that's left is like really pure air and a purified feeling in the mental body. And Your thoughts can flow from A to B to C to D and then some. And if we want to go backwards, A to negative, A to negative B to negative C, we can go wherever we want to go, and the mind just can. You just have the ability to take the train and go over there and then over there, and you can walk out of the bathroom and you can do this and you can do that, and I feel awesome about it. I have the ability to go places without jammy receptor. So lots of oxygen. Feels good. Happy faces for the brain. So it's really positive. They're wanting to, that sort of, it's a cloudy sort, it's a person breathing oxygen, okay? But there's no face, no body. It's just an energy outline of an energetic person in a sort of a meditative way. They're wanting me to have that part of you that I saw stuck in the bathroom, to bring it into this oxygenated energy person. It's part of your consciousness too, so. They're wanting you to experience pure oxygen in your mental body. They're saying you've left the bathroom now. You are in this infinite state, experiencing higher clarity, oxygenated thoughts, feelings, a heightened sense of self-awareness, but not just self-awareness. You have the ability to have an idea and then go after it and not feel stuck along the way or confused or uncertain or, just, you're giving you the get up and go, because oxygen gives you the get up and go. This is all new to you. This part of you is just like, okay, I guess I'm sitting in an oxygen cloud. I don't know what to make of this. Is this real? Is this me? You haven't quite allowed yourself to blend with it yet. You're not really certain about this yet. They're saying just choose to inhale and see what happens. Choose to inhale oxygen and see what happens. Take a really big, long drag of it and see what happens. You're going to get happy faces in the brain. Give it a try. Just give it a try. Give it a try. Allow it to fill your mind and your thoughts. Allow it to fill your brain, your cells, your blood, your heart, your lungs, your muscles, your bones, your everything. Oxygen to be you. You and oxygen are one. Nothing else. So. You're still having a hard time really blending with it, but you're more open to it now than when we first started. I'm saying continue to allow yourself to inhale oxygen. Even as you're watching this video in this part, or just day to day, just say, I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to choose to, every day, twice a day, in the morning and then at night, I'm going to just take a drag of oxygen for 5 minutes. I'm just going to do this for my brain and for my body. I'm going to do this for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. I'm going to do this before I eat, after I eat, while I eat. I'm just going to get high off oxygen all day long. Like, there's something about this. It's valuable. Oxygen works. You're still, there's quite a bubbly goo ball on the inside of you now. You're kind of, it's a sticky goo on the inside that you're trying to fill your body with oxygen, and this sticky goo is you're so full of it that it's sort of now pushing, the oxygen is just pushing that bubble goo ball out of you. and it's coming out quite quickly. It's just got a greenish, brownish sort of it's really like you can almost knock on it, but if you touch it, it's sort of sticky, gooey, and it's unpoppable. It's kind of like an unpoppable bubble, sticky bubble, big one. That's the size of you. It's the outline of you. It is insanely sticky. But keep breathing. You're doing great. The air is doing the work. The air energy is helping to get out the sticky bubble. You're going to be feeling super clear in your mind when this work is done. I'm still watching the sticky bubble trying to come out here. It's coming out. It just made a super loud pop noise. It was only halfway out and then it popped, so I'm exploring what it is on the inside. It's odd. It's sort of really awful, like trying to breathe through snot. And it's almost suffocating. So I'm just waiting. Everything is getting cleaned out on the inside where the part that has sort of sticky pop, that thing just popped and it's made a horrible loud sound, and some of the sticky goo is still on the inside while some of it is out, totally out, nothing to do with you. So now we have plenty of room for more oxygen, and oxygen to go num 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 num, eat away at the sticky goo ball. We got a lot of room for oxygen now. Even to breathe it, sort of take the air from way down there at the feet, breathe it in and let it go all the way down to your toes, over the head, over the shoulders, back there. Let's get the oxygen back there. Let's breathe it in. Let's breathe it into all of our energy centers. Energy centers have little mouths, and let's go with all of them. Heart portal, breathing. Brain is breathing, throat breathing, energy portals on your backside, little mouths breathing, skin cells breathing, muscle tissues breathing, lungs breathing, heart breathing, blood cells breathing, brain cells breathing, continuing breathing. You're starting to feel more and more a part of the experience. You're telling me there's more you want to let go of. You got it sort of bothers your head, and it's got a metallic it looks like a metallic lead, I don't know, some sort of metal in the brain. It literally looks like one of those, it's like a Zeppelin or something. It's the shape of like a blimp or whatever. But it's more the old school kind where people could actually ride in it. And it's in the head, and it's like a lead weight, but it has no weight at all. It almost has a mercury kind of a reflection to it. In this version of truth, your teeth kind of look like green and has some rottedness. Your flesh is really pale and then blue in certain places. You're screaming. You're sick of it. You're tired of it. You need everything to go away. You hate yourself. But yet you hate yourself for this, but you can't stop doing it to yourself. And it's quite an aggressive side of you of self-hatred. You're so mad. You're pulling out this thing on your own and just smashing it to the ground. But yet it never fully leaves. It just remains lodged in there. And you can't get rid of it. You hate it. You hate yourself for this. You're screaming, you're trying to get it out, you're releasing black out from behind the eyes and then from deep inside the mouth. I'm telling you, this part of you has been It's like the voice of reason was suffocated. And now the voice of reason is getting, the oxygen is allowing these pockets of your truth to open up. And now voice of reason is having an emotional freak out here. It's really mad. It was really pissed off. And I'm helping this voice to know that it's a part of you and that it is being heard and that you're not going to be stifled or suffocated anymore. I mean, it's really terrible. It even shows me that it's like being like strangled. Can't breathe. And more of the oxygen that you're inhaling in the mental body sort of oxygen area is filling this room up, and it's starting to help this part of you just feel a little bit more peaceful and relaxed. It's getting oxygen to this part of you, and this part of you it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was ever going to breathe again. But there's such a mess going on with the mental body of this version of you too. It's got, this metal thing is starting to just evaporate, but it's showing me there's like it looks like a jellyfish head. I mean, you just want to break apart and just start over again. You're telling me I just want to turn into a liquid and then just rebuild me. I just want to, it's sort of like banging your head against a wall for 50,000 years. Somebody finally comes and it's like, I've had enough. I've had enough. It's like, I get it. I really do get it. It's been a long time. It's been agonizing. And you're just like, just please turn me into this, like, you just want me to kill you and then put you back to, just bring you back to life again. It's sort of like a rebirth. A part of you just wants to be in a rebirth state. So I'm going to do something to help rebirth this part of your reflection. It's asking it of me. It's sort of like I just want to feel disconnected from everything that had created this person now so that I can have a clean slate and just feel like refreshed and I'm ready for new things. I mean, it's really extreme. It keeps showing me all these sort of very intense scenes of just feeling abused, mistreated, not listened to. Nobody appreciates me. People just want to kick me when I'm down. And it's just some part of you that is the most honest part of you, is the most tender part, most sweetest part. And then you say no to that part of you and then be a different version. Now that sweetest, most innocent, kindest part of you is getting, kicked while it's down. Because you'll keep saying no to it in order to influence, whatever. We do this stuff to ourselves all the time. It's like the best part of us says, please go take a warm bath. You really need it. It's like, nah, sweetest part of me, not going to take a warm bath, don't have time. So sweetest part now gets kicked when it's down. How will we ever heal ourselves if we don't choose to listen to the sweetest parts of ourselves? Like, time always gets in the way of everything, or the routine of life gets in the way, or you just never make time for ourselves to really nurture ourselves and help give ourselves hugs. This part of you is screaming more, and it's like, please, no more. It keeps being afraid of something bad about to happen. And now it's in a state of expectation that it's going to get kicked because it's not down now. It's actually starting to heal now. And so what was, I'm getting kicked when I'm down, now that's the expectation, to feel suffocated and abused. But now that it's not being suffocated or abused, now it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be suffocated really soon. I'm going to be abused soon. Where is it? It's going to come. I know it's going to come. It's like, no, it's not. It's just you're healing. And now you have an expectation for the worst to happen because the worst did happen. And so allow that to pass. This is quite a huge part of your reflection in this healing. So I'm giving you a hug here. You're shivering, shaking, and crying, and you're so confused. This room, this space where this part of you is, has been filling with oxygen this whole time, and it's really helping this part of you. It's sort of like you got a knot in the muscles, so we're just rubbing it out of there. We got a knot here in the mental body. We're just giving it some oxygen, letting it freak out, letting it, express every part of its dynamic, and then helping it to feel relaxed and coaxed into a state of trust and peace and balance and patience. This part of you is still quite fragile, but it's starting to get some inner strength going. Doesn't have a lot of faith or trust that it is strong enough or capable of handling bigger things, really big movements and shifts and changes and motivations. It just needs to stick with the simple right now, or the easy right now. So there's a sensation of time passing here, okay? I know it's only been so many minutes in this scene, but it feels like years and years and years having gone by, so really speeding up the healing process for this part of you. So I'm just continuing to give you a hug. As I hug this part of you, it's releasing some really massive blocks out of the back of the head. They just look like like blocks that a kid could build, something with blocks. But it's a big one that's the size of the back of your head, a black one that comes out, and then one that comes out in the upper back region. They're energy blocks. We call them energy blocks. They actually look like energy blocks. They actually look like blocks. This one in the back of the head is really long. Still pulling it out. Is it a cube? No, it's the most infinite rectangle I've ever experienced. Still pulling it out of there, and it's feeling a lot better. Oh my gosh, how could you? This is just it's like miles long. You just don't believe. It's just unbelievable that you could have this extreme relief in your mental body. It keeps showing me, I keep going, more, just continue to pull it out from behind there. As I keep pulling it out, some part of you says, no, it's not real, and then it just tries to slam all that crap back in there, but it's like, nope, and so I just hold on to it, and then just wait for you to say, okay, keep going, and so then I keep pulling it out, and then there's a moment of, no, it's just sort of like your body's not adjusted to all of that not being there, and so it just can't believe this is real. It's amazing how you do energy work and parts of the reflection actually react to the work that is being done. And this is why it's so hard to change routines, because the routine is built in with all these sort of energy reflections. So you change the energy reflection or the pattern, the routine, some part of you gets a little freaked out because the energy likes consistency. So I'll tell you what, Brittany, you're gonna have an amazing sort of fresh head after this. And you're going to feel a lot more relaxed and at ease, and better equipped or able to choose self-healing activities and then sticking with them, because it's going to just feel right and natural. I'm still filling you with massive amounts of energy oxygen. So how do I create oxygen in you? I fill your spiritual atmosphere with the reflection of breathing in pure, fresh oxygen. And now that energy actually does become a part of you. That becomes a part of your truth, that you've been breathing in massive amounts of oxygen for the last several years into the mental body, and it's starting to feel incredibly purified. That huge, long, insanely miles long rectangle block has just been totally removed. The head feels a lot better, but there's a sensation as though there's still maybe a little bit more removal to do. But right now it's okay. It's just saying this is a good place for us to just allow this to be it's happy right now. It's just happy right now. It's not wanting me to remove anything else from there right now. It just wants to acclimate itself to what is this new experience. This is the part of you that's been sort of in that space, which was really angry, upset, feeling abused, violated, not heard, cut off. Was feeling kind of fragile as we're getting it healed, is now feeling quite strong and quite self-sufficient, not falling short of being good to itself. You choosing to be good towards yourself because you know it's the right thing to do, and actually being able to follow through with it. Some massive energy blocks coming out the throat region. Just letting go of a lot of this contamination. You're crying. There's an odd blubbery sort of energy coming out of the mouth. You're feeling so much more peaceful and relaxed. This part of you is starting to merge with the other. The one we took out of the bathroom, put it in that sort of oxygen person. Now this part is sort of in a space of its own kind, is now merging with the oxygenation sort of reflection. That is just breathing in at peace and just in a state of balance. You're way more peaceful. You're even breathing like a pro. Like a real sort of super monk. Really relaxed, fluid breathing. Really excellent posture. No hesitation or resistance. Fluid sort of energy pattern going on here. Letting go of this bathroom space, even breathing oxygen into there, and sort of that too is sort of a reflection of a jammy receptor. So we're disconnecting that from your truth. I'm just staying with you in this breathing scene. You yourself are agreeing that it is time to let go of that part of you. I'm allowing it to enter into the light, fill with light, light that comes from love, love that manifests light. So I'm just watching that space fill with light and just allow it to transform. It's transforming into a flower. And when you inhale, you're also inhaling the fragrance of the flower. So not only are you inhaling oxygen, you are breathing in a very beautiful scent as well. A very fresh smell, a Mother Earth smell, sort of very feminine kind of fragrance. It's really, I mean, it's perfect. The way it feels is just the perfect moment, a perfect day, the most wonderful hour I've had in the last 5 years. That is the most amazing fragrance. That's what it is to experience inhaling it. What does it smell like? I don't have a clue. But that's what it does to me when I'm inhaling it. The fragrance is making me feel perfect, making me feel true love, making me feel an experience of true love that is natural. It comes from a gift from Mother Earth to my body through the gift of the fragrant flower. It was born to be this. These petals, this color, and this scent. It was born to be this. It's a miracle that a seed could create something that smells this amazing, that is this beautiful to look at. I just want to feel this every day. It's a massive release of some sort of bird out of the heart portal, as I'm also in a state of, it's sort of like a perfect cliff at the top of a really tall mountain, and the air up here is insanely fresh, and I'm in a state of extraordinary nirvana type of heightened state of self-awareness, clarity. It's totally a spiritual moment as well. It's not so much physical and ego. You know, ego is always complaining. Ego always feels, destroyed by life. And ego is always frustrated with our behaviors. You can never satisfy ego. There's no ego in this experience. It's totally you on a cliffside, the spiritual, and it's total clarity and no reason for another thought in the mind. It's just purity. And it's a sensation of your vibration rate rising and you feeling lifted up as well. Incredible amounts of oxygen and pure fresh air going into your body, physical body, mental body, and now what is an emotional body when you're in a spiritual state of nirvana? It's spirit. It doesn't seem to have a relationship with emotional body, because ego too drives our emotions to feel the pains and sufferings of life, frustrated with ourselves, kick ourselves when we're already down. Like, that's the ego for you. But this state is just totally so disconnected from anything that's human. It's totally a spiritual moment and experience. Now the back of the head is releasing more of the energy congestion. It's sort of like pushing Play-Doh through like the little circles to make spaghetti. It's black, like spaghetti strings, Play-Doh strings coming out the back of the head. It's just old energy, and that's how it's choosing to come out. It just looks like that. We're really squeezing out the what was type of energy. I mean, it's amazing how far we've come since we started this work. It's amazing. That jamming receptor is so far away from this experience. It's so freeing now. They're showing me a head that's flipping through sort of cards that's on the top. So it's like cards being flipped up, and now another card, and then another card. So it's oddly, there's cards on top of your head. We're going through them. It's like flipping through the pages of a book. Which page do we want to be on? We're kind of going back and forth right now. Again, your head is really reflections of a library. It's just showing me, again, a book sort of. We're looking for something. Even a hand that is sort of going down this page and looking for something specific. Is it reading the page, or is it looking for a certain sentence or paragraph? It's looking on this page, and now on the next page, it's going slower on the next page. It's really trying to identify exactly. It knows approximately where it is in the book. It just really needs to just find the specific spot. Sort of like you write in a journal, and then you're trying to find that one journal you wrote in 2 years ago, and that certain experience that you wrote about. You just want to revisit that. It's kind of like that right now. You are finding it and identifying it. It's okay to let this book go. It's been reviewed, it's been explored, and we're pulling it out of your head and we're setting it aside. That feels a lot better. There is literally a consciousness reading the story of your life kind of thing. It's pulling out another book here. It's using its finger to go down the lines of, the sentences. It's using hands, putting hands on two sides, and then the hand energy is pulling up lots of books. It's really pulling up lots and lots of books. More and more books. It's like the infinite library. It's going through them all very quickly. It's like jammy receptor moment was, I don't know, it's 10,000 books. I can't do it. Jamie receptor, it can't even process a thought of what 10,000 books look like. It feels just overwhelmed, and it hasn't even tried to even do anything. It just chooses to have a thought and then feel overwhelmed and then be stuck in a moment. It just can't do anything. But this, we're getting fluidness going through, and now we're going through the books of your library. I mean, in your library, it was such a mess. I didn't talk about all the things. I mean, there was sticky gum all over in your library, and it was just sort of like books that were sort of, the pages that just sticky gum on all of the pages. That's what it looked like. It was just a library covered in books with just sticky gum, and nobody wants to touch those books, and nobody wants to try to open them because they're covered in gum. It was just like that. But these books are clean and purified. There is no sticky gum, and this whatever consciousness is going through each and every one of the books in the library, reading them, and then letting them go. It's just catching up on all the volumes of your life. Catching up on all the stories that make up each and every single day. It's really going through everything. Now there's a part of the head with all the books coming out of them. The head now has been releasing quite a lot of books, so now it's in a moment of, it's freaking out a little bit because it's noticing there's a harmony change. What was sticky goo ball library, and now it's starting to be purified. The books are being read, and it's sort of like, I'm freaking out, I'm changing. So I'm just letting this part of you, it sort of blasts out sort of an anger or frustrated energy. And so I'm just letting it do that, and then we'll see what happens next. It's mad. It's just so sick of all these stupid volumes of stupid books. Just get them out of my head already. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of it. I mean, literally the head is just like so enraged. I just, it's too much, it's just freaking out. It's too much in there, too much volumes, too much in the library. It's really overwhelming. It's mad because it just wants to have the simple thoughts again without anything else. It's just sort of like I don't know. Yeah, I'll do this, and then it's just sort of okay, I'll just pump the fudge into my head, and that's what normal is going to feel like. When that happens, the thought processes are slowed down to such a degree. I mean, the ego's not in the way, but it's not. The brain is starting to try really hard to adjust to really smooth, lots of fluid thoughts, lots of clarity, lots of A to B to C to D, and it's almost like, oh my god, I'm freaking out. I can't. It's too clear. It's too much clarity. It's too much thought. Too many things to think about. Too much in my head. It's too much movement. So I'm just letting it react and freak out because it has a right to be overwhelmed. It's not used to this. So I'm just letting it freak out, and then it'll start to quiet down and soften up and feel better. It just can't take it. I mean, you're really having a hard time right now with this. You're really emotional about it too, and you're starting to cry a lot. I just don't know how to deal with life like this. You're really starting to discover yourself, and in the process of discovering yourself as just you without anything else in the way, no cannabis now, and just seeing who you really are through just breathing oxygen, it's creating an emotional fluffiness, like an emotional moment where it's really hard to just be me without anything else. I mean, I don't like the way. It's not necessarily that you don't like it. It's just a little bit too much. Too much, and I'm not used to what this feels like. It's okay you're crying right now, and you're just really it just I can I have a choice? Can I say no to this anymore? Can I go back to where I came from? Can I just clog my head full of the mud again? Can I just go and be stuck? Because at least that I understood that, and while I didn't want that at the time and chose to let go so I could have clarity, now I have clarity, and I just kind of want to feel stuck again. I just much rather feel stuck because that just made more sense. I miss that feeling. I miss feeling like that. I'm continuing to pull out more jams, and this has nothing to do with the library volumes. It's kind of gone to a pause right now. And there's just energy blocks coming out again of the head, okay? Lots and lots and lots of them just coming out again. These ones are just spewing out like lots of Lego blocks. Lots of cube shaped Lego blocks just blasting out, just more, just coming out of the back of the head. This is helping that emotional side create balance again. I'm just continuing to watch here. I'm telling you, the state of mental clarity you're going to be experiencing is going to be refreshing beyond belief. Just keep letting go. And when you have these weird emotional stumbles and you kind of want to go back to the way it was, that's really normal. Everybody who has to change their routine goes through those. Just persevere through it. It's probably going to linger for a week or something. Persevere through it, and then look back and be so glad and proud of yourself that you didn't give up, okay? Because even though you're crying and you're saying, please, I just want to go back, the more emotional blocks are removed, the easier it is for you to say, you're right, I don't want to go back to that. I actually chose not to go back to that for a reason. I chose to be done with that for a reason, and I want to stand by the way that I felt when I made that choice, because I really do want to continue making forward steps in this way. And I'm just continuing to move out more blocks. I mean, there's thousands and thousands just blasting, just block, 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 block is coming out of the back of the head. Just energy blocks. So I'm seeing a sewing machine, and then it's just, there's something like just the sound of it, as the needle is sort of poking. It's really fast. It's just a poking sound, and it's stitch. It's just really gross. It's just really bothering me. Because I just keep thinking about this needle. It just keeps poking into things and just sewing things together. And it makes this sound. It's starting to finally sort of not feel like a freaky thing, but it just, okay, I'm just sewing. I'm just sewing, okay. It's not like I'm sewing freaky skin fragments together or anything. It's just, I'm just sewing, okay. Phew. Nothing freaky here. But the way that needle was just poking over and over and over again is just really bothering me. And then the stitching, the need to stitch things together was just really bothering me. It's just the way this thing keeps moving. I keep kind of going in and out of being bothered by it, needing to really analyze my feelings related to this, and then just be like, okay, it's actually just a sewing machine. It's okay. Phew, it's just a sewing machine. That was silly. They're saying there's something about your mental body. It just continue to focus on what you are choosing to accomplish here. What you're accomplishing with this sewing machine is you're actually just, doing a seam with the sewing. You're just sewing with the sewing machine. That is what you're accomplishing. It's so totally natural thing to do. It's okay. But somehow, sometimes in the process of choosing to do something totally normal and totally natural, you have like a freak out where it's sort of like, it doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel natural. For some weird reason, I just kind of freaking out right now. Don't know why I'm freaking out. Shouldn't be freaking out. I'm freaking out. Oh, it was just a sewing machine. That was kind of weird. It just kind of had a weird freaky ripple there. Just, okay, it's just a sewing machine. I'm fine now. I'm not sure what this is symbolic of with you. If maybe sometimes if it's kind of like a weird anxiety thing where you just, for an hour you just had some weird feeling about something, and then it was just like it just kind of was there and then just totally went away, and it was like I don't even know why. I don't even know what that was. That was just really ridiculous. But it also could be, associated with, you making life changes, right? And in the process of doing that, you're just making life changes. You're just using a sewing machine. No big deal. But, oh my God, the life changes. They're poking holes in me. They're stitching me together. They're freaking me out. Oh, that's right. I was just making life changes. I'm totally fine now. So I don't know what this is, but that is what it's like. That is what the thought process or the feeling is like. It's taking something that's totally normal, totally natural, not freaky, and then turning it into something totally freaky for just a little bit, and then it goes back to a normal, like, oh, I don't know what that was. That was pretty silly of me. So they're saying, so are you okay now? Can you just look at it as though it's just a sewing machine? You just it's just a sewing machine. It's not anything. It's not a gremlins on the wing. The plane is going to go down. Actually, it's just a storm. I know there's some turbulence. There's no freaky alien on the wing. It's just the Twilight Zone moment. It's really just a plane in the sky, and it's kind of stormy. You're okay. But no, it's not just a sewing. Yes, it is. You see, there's another issue here where I can't even stop thinking about it. So now we're sort of overanalyzing. And so when we start overanalyzing, it's time to acknowledge, okay, I've thought about this enough. I've examined it enough. And now I'm overanalyzing it. And if I want to keep making progress in my life, I need to take the butter knife and cut the old butter off. And now let's start with the new fresh slab of butter. New thoughts. Time for something new. Let it go. Just as quickly as it comes, just let it go. Once you start to discover you're doing this, just acknowledge it and then let it go. They want me to move this. There's something weird about this sewing machine in you because it's still creating a real freaky back and forth sort of ping pong experience. I'm even standing at the doorway of like a sewing room. I mean, there's a really freaky anxiety about it. The anxiety is not so terrible that it's not destroying my life. It's not, you know, taking me by the hook and I can't get a handle on it. It's not doing that. It has a moment of freakiness, but it kind of blows over pretty quick. But I'm sort of standing in the doorway of a sewing room and it feels like I'm in a totally haunted house and I'm going to die soon. I mean, these red fabrics here must be made out of just ribbons of blood. I'm sure this room is cursed. There's some evil spirit in here. It's freaking me out. This sewing machine is moving all by itself. It's freaking me out. Again, I'm sort of like it's just a sewing room. There's no curse. There's no evil spirits in here. It's just a sewing machine. We need to I'm bringing this consciousness in here. So we're now identifying there's a weird freaky hair in your spiritual atmosphere and bringing the freaky hair into the sewing room as a human being, looking like a human being. This is you, and I'm holding your hand and we're going to explore the sewing room together, okay? I need you to show me as a human being talking to me. I want to see your face. I want to see what this means to you so we can help you feel better about this. You don't trust anything about this room. It must be like the Indian burial ground underneath here and poltergeist, a total poltergeist experience. I mean, you are serious. I'm standing in here and I'm like, I get it's kind of dim in here. There's a lot of shadow. There's a lot of red in here. There's just a sewing machine at a table, and yes, it is sewing on its own, but there's nothing in here. There's no freakiness in here. I'm saying I'm here with you. I'm sensing out the entire room. I'm looking for demons, evil spirits, negative entities. I'm looking for the Indian burial ground. I'm looking for the poltergeist so I can release it and purge it from you. There is nothing here. I'm going to go into your consciousness and then I'm choosing to see what the reflection is. I want to see what it is that this is all about. I'm in the sewing room as you. I'm choosing to experience what is this truth. It's quite weird. I don't know how to describe it. It comes through air. It's got a weird sort of white cylindrical shaped block. A V shape and then black, and the white sort of cylindrical block could be like a moon, but if you looked at it from the side it sort of projects outward. There's some weird, it's sort of like two silver plates that create a V symbol in a space, and then some sort of weird veiny looking human-esque type of skin, no clothing on, male face, sort of really weird teeth and eyes looking at me. Again, it's not a real entity or demon or anything. It's just a part of your, whatever this anxiety is creating reflection as though you feel something is there that actually it really isn't there. I can tell these things. If there really was a demon in there, I would know. They have a consciousness in a way that is sort of, you feel it. You can feel it. There's no question marks about it. There's no question. This is not that. This is more like you're showing me the fear, and the fear looks real, feels real, is experienced as real, but it's not real. It's literally like a poster. You just created a fake mirage of an illusionary reality, and it's not. It's just you take the mirage, it's a piece of paper, we'll crumple it up and throw it in the trash. It's not real. Something of your anxieties are quite, it's just a weird wild hair and it feels scary, and it must be, if it's, there's a reason why I'm having this, it must be real, right? This is a true scenario where it's not a real negative entity or demon or anything. In the process, I'm pulling out really long black metal tubes from the lower back region. This, I don't get the impression this is associated with back pain. It's more of an energy block. There's an energy portal right at the lower back, and so I'm removing those pulls from there. I'm removing pulls from a space in the upper back region as well. There is quite a something on the inside of you here. Again, I'm telling you, your ego is going through a shift or a change, and it's going to demand the routine stay in place. And in order to ensure the routine stays in place, it's going to start manipulating you into start having kind of a weird feelings about things, and they're illusions. They're illusionary. Because I'm pulling out what is, it's an overwhelming feeling like I'm congested or consumed by darkness, but it's just a big puff of black goo ball that's trying to come out on its own, and it's massive. It's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but black goo ball coming from the inside of you. It looks like a real sort of entity or something, but it's not. It doesn't actually have it doesn't have it doesn't have an emotion. It doesn't have an infinite energy. It doesn't have it's just we create our own energies, We can do that too. We can create feelings of love or feelings of depression. If we stay in those feelings, we start actually manifesting energies around us that get stuck to us, and they start feeling like this. They can start being translated into things that they aren't. I'm pulling it's still coming out, this massive goo ball thing. It was just an ego just freaked out. It just is trying to ensure it's a consistent sort of behavior is not going to be tolerated anymore. Ego must be quieted through a consistently new routine. It's just a huge stickiness coming out of your backside. It's horribly sticky and gooey and gross, and it is related to physical body. I don't think it's necessarily, I don't get the impression it's necessarily creating back pain though. It just feels like the body has become tuned to a certain behavior, and now the tune is changing, and so the sticky goo ball has to get purged now from the actual physical body. So we've done massive work to purge the mental body, but now physical body is talking to me. Physical body is wanting to purge. Sticky goo ball. Huge, it's just insanely massive, sort of infinite sticky goo ball. And I'm telling you, when you get frustrated or angry, it stalls out the process of release. Because some part of you now, I've released so much of that, some part of you is sort of, you're just overwhelmed by it and you're getting mad. Some part of you wants to push it out faster. Some part of you just doesn't know who you are anymore. And it sort of stops all progress. So just go to the breathing and the Goose Fraba experience and the sort of meditative moment, and then just trust and allow it to take place, and then it comes out very quickly on its own. Telling you, the progress we've made here, Brittany, is incredible. from the beginning where it would just like, I feel like I'm constantly stumbling in place. I don't even have any feet to stumble on. I don't, but yet I can't get anywhere. I'm trying to. Now we're really making progress here, and the energy is really flowing, and we're really letting go of a lot of old energy congestion. You're going to feel just energetically lighter, and you're going to feel massive sort of clarity in your thought processes. You're having an emotional moment from this. It's not so much anger or frustration. This now, I'm telling you, it's just huge what has just been released. And now you're just crying and you're feeling just, again, the ego is shifting. You're altering your truth and your reflection. This is moments of self-awareness. When we have these kind of emotional breakdown moments, it's actually, we're reorganizing the balance of the ego with the mind, the body, with all of our reflections. And sometimes it creates an emotional moment where we can't just take anymore. We can't do anymore. We're going to give up. That's the time where don't give up. Just take it way easier. Go slower. Just don't give up. Just let that part of you have its freak out needs, have its emotional cry baby moments. It's actually purged quite a lot, and that's why it's crying now. It deserves to have this time to rebalance itself. There's just more of these metal pulls, and just all coming out of the back region, from the back of the head down to the hips. Massive amounts of them. These ones are a lot harder. They're more dense. That was really impressive. Everything feels so impressive after that. I'm actually allowed now to take that reflection and merge that reflection with the breathing. That part that's just been in oxygenating and breathing. We're disconnecting you from the sewing room scene. We're filling that with light and illumination. I'm running out of time here, so I'm inspired to fill that sort of cave scene with light and illumination. Just love energy that creates light. And I'm disconnecting both scenes from your truth, your true identity, allowing them to heal. That's just a massive gift of energy healing. More energy purge out of the back of the head region. I'm having you stand up, and I'm having you take a walk now. You've been in a meditative way breathing oxygen for a while, so let's just have you enter into spaces of nature. I just want it to be the perfect temperature. The sun is just right. It's not blinding. It's not too hot. It's not too cool. The wind doesn't make you feel kind of cold on a sunny day. I'm just having you lay down and just enjoy. There's this sort of a shady tree here. It's just the perfect temperature, but the sun still can come in and touch upon your face in places. There's just flowers growing around, so you can enjoy fragrant flowers. You're saying, you know what, I've sat around enough. I actually just kind of want to go for a walk. So I'm having you walk on a nature trail. There's sort of trees on both sides. It's a sunny day, but the sun isn't overwhelming you. You actually want to go for a jog. So you are. You're jogging by a water body too. Like a river or stream or something. The more you run, the more you just feel further away from everything that you had, what you were. And this running just creates more of that oxygenation that your body really thrives on. It helps really motivate the positive changes more quickly. And the body's ready for this, is what it's showing me here. That it's just really ready to start breathing and being active and experiencing nature and experiencing the sensation of being alive. Again, that sort of hug feeling. You've been jogging and now you're stopping and you say, I would just like to have a hug. There's another here who is giving you a hug. It just really instantly balances your heart and mind and body and everything instantly. You're feeling good, you're smiling at me, and you just feel peaceful. So that's all I have to share for you for right now, Brittany. Thank you very much for this experience. It's quite unique, and I really enjoyed helping to release all of that jammy energy that you've got going on in there. So I'll be curious to see how you're feeling as the days pass. Definitely keep me posted on that. I'm just disconnecting from your spiritual atmosphere. You're just continuing to move out of your spiritual atmosphere. All right. Thank you very much again. And for those of you who are watching, if you're interested in experiencing 90 minutes of spiritual healing with me through a soul rebirth journey, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.